Good evening, fellow ghouls and specters alike. It's your ghost host with the most, Tiki here.
And PerGron.
Here to engage in some haunted holiday hijinks by trudging through the catacombs and dusting off the cobwebs to recount our spooky selection of Halloween classics. So light the jack-o'-lanterns, suit up, and grab the candy dish as we revive and recount tonight's spooky selection. Laugh with me, PerGron. The Witch 10th Anniversary Retrospective. Maniacal laugh.
All right. Well, Tiki, I have a question for you before we get started.
What is your question?
Tiki, wouldst thou like to live deliciously?
Sounds like a plan. What do I have to do?
You must enjoy this movie. I don't remember the line.
Well, I sure did enjoy this movie, PerGron.
I'm glad. Seems like you're on the right track.
All right, yeah.
There was something about butter. I don't.
God. All right, so this is, of course, the film that put Robert Eggman Eggers on the map. PerGron, I gotta say, revisiting this, I don't know about you, but we were kind of having this debate kind of last year with Nosferatu.
Mm-hmm.
I respect the hell out of Nosferatu. I do. It's a solid ass movie for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not original in the same way that this thing is, and that's what really tips the scales for me. I mean, obviously, we have The Lighthouse as
right,
the Eggers masterpiece.
My third favorite movie of all time.
Going to top that, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely adore that movie.
But I don't know, man. This is honestly closer for me than what I was like. I really respect the hell out of this movie too. I mean, I really think that this movie kind of set the framework for his entire career, and it was so different and so audacious from everything coming out at the time, and I still think it kind of feels that way. Like, honestly, especially with Eggers, like his last couple movies have been a little bit more Hollywood,
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of feel like Eggers himself is sort of slipping from this like very, very esoteric, kind of gritty, like super realistic. I mean, I feel like Nosferatu did have that texture to it for sure in the production design and the language. But again, I just think it's the originality of this story that really cinches it for me.
Yeah, I definitely think after revisiting, because it's been years since I've seen this movie, I think it's probably my number 2 of his. I think it edges out Nosferatu. I do think Nosferatu is a masterpiece of like Victorian era horror. And I think it captures that really well. But yeah, I agree. I mean, this movie, there's nothing to hate about this movie. Like, I guess if you don't like period pieces where you can't understand all the dialogue.
No, don't get me wrong. This is the type of like Nosferatu is a much more accessible movie, right? That's the much more normie movie. This is not a normie movie. This is not like you don't just go straight from The Conjuring to this. You know what I mean?
No. Eggman's kind of on a better trajectory, but kind of a similar trajectory to his contemporary and Ari Aster. Where they start off making like really solid horror and then kind of go a little more like their third feature is definitely not a horror movie for both of them, and probably their weakest in my opinion.
Right.
I don't know. Eddington might be worse than Beau is Afraid. I'm not quite sure.
Oh man, it's tricky because I feel like my stance on that is that I feel like the first act of Beau is Afraid is better than anything in Eddington. But I don't think that anything in Eddington is worse than the last half of Beau is Afraid.
Right.
So it kind of evens itself out there.
But yeah, like they kind of have a similar trajectory of, I would argue, like The Witch and Hereditary are definitely two kind of all-timers, honestly.
I mean, those two are almost like siblings to each other.
And
Yeah.
then Midsummer and The Lighthouse kind of feel very similar to that as well.
Just as far as being like very experimental,
Yep.
esoteric type movies.
Yeah, and then The Northman and Beau is Afraid are kind of their like experimental but slightly more Hollywood
Hmm.
um non-horror. And then Nosferatu and Eddington are very much um kind of like just big Hollywood pieces.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely think Eggers has a significantly better track record. I would
At
not
this
call
point, yeah.
any of his movies thus far, any of the four, bad. Like,
Hmm.
or even like good. I think all four of them are at minimum really solid.
I need to revisit The Norsemen. I only saw that once in theaters, and it didn't really click with me the first time.
It still made my top 10 that year.
Okay.
So I haven't revisited it in a while, but I remember like it's definitely my least favorite of his. But
Hmm.
like I think this guy, he's one of the directors to watch. Like he is. I mean, his some of his new projects coming up. Obviously, next year we have Werewolf, which is a period piece about a werewolf. Obviously,
Is that literally what it's called?
it's
Just
called
werewolf?
Werewolf. WERWULF. I think it's the German.
Oh, right. It's got that period spelling. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, okay.
Kind of like
Mhm.
this with the Vivitch.
You know what's
And-
funny is that Jacob Weil actually did make a thumbnail with that, and he was kind of disappointed that I didn't use it. But I was like, yeah, but people have to read what it is. People like the
right.
problem is people are gonna think it's a typo.
Right.
That's kind of the issue I ran into with that a little bit.
Yeah. Before we get into this movie, because we do need to, but I just want to say, Eggman is making a Christmas Carol movie,
Yeah,
and
I don't know that one. I don't really know
that
about. I
one,
mean,
that to me, I mean, I love A Christmas Carol. It's probably my favorite story of all time. So I am incredibly excited for that whenever that does come out. Um, but yeah, I think this movie, it was his first feature.
mhm.
And I think it's kind of a masterpiece. 5 star out of 5. Um, yeah, I mean, just fucking great. The Vivitch is one of those movies.
Okay. Well, yeah. Let's just go ahead and get into it. So,
Yeah,
I mean, the first thing that strikes you right off the and just to acknowledge him, we got Eli from Little Blue Productions in the comments. He's saying you guys are reviewing this. I'll be reviewing Nosferatu on the Little Blue channel this month.
hell yeah.
PerGron, I am so tempted. Like, I don't know if Dragon's gonna go for this, but I am so tempted to have Nosferatu as a seasonal shenanigans pick.
Mm.
I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know that Dragon will go for it, but I think it's a good pick.
I mean, we've done stuff in the past where it's been kind of like, the theme is like I can't believe it's Christmas. We did one where we did like Lethal Weapon and Die Hard and those type of movies.
Hmm.
And honestly, I correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like we've gotten more than one horror movie set around Christmas
Oh,
recently.
absolutely.
What other examples can you think
I mean,
of?
we got Terrifier 3 last year.
Right, that's a big one for sure.
This year we're getting a remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night, which is getting really good reviews.
Hmm.
Krampus was a couple years ago, but around the time of the witch.
Hmm.
Um, so I mean, that's just 3 right off the bat. I'm sure there's others, but
All right. Okay, so yeah, so the movie starts and we're just instantly taken into this just this world that Eggers has created where everything is just so super period accurate, like right on down to right on down to just the dirt on the ground. Paragon, the dirt on the ground has always been like, just one of those little production design things that has always really stuck out to me. Yeah, I'm sure
mm,
you feel the same way,
oh,
right?
absolutely.
It just gives the whole thing such a textile, like earthy, just vibe. It just completes the whole thing, I think.
The craziest part is he traveled back to 1700s New England to get that dirt.
Yeah. So we open with of course. Now, one of the things on a rewatch, PerGron, that really struck me was like, you remember Ralph Ineson in this movie, right?
Yes,
Like
of
this was
course.
very much Ralph Ineson's kind of coming out as far as like, look at me, I'm on the scene. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I genuinely think that Ralph Ineson is essentially the closest thing that we have to a modern age Alan Rickman. I think he's got
Yes,
that same vibe.
100%.
He's got that same screen presence to him.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Hmm. So, just just this intro, just seeing him like, just so like, you just know from the start, you just know, just based on the premise of this movie, shit is not going to go right with this family just going out into the wilderness like this. And what really always strikes me about this intro is like, oh man, like they are living in like the most the most biblical, like Bible thumping,
Yeah,
God fearing times possible,
Puritan New England.
and these people think that this family is too much. You know what I mean? I just think it sets such a perfect tone right off the bat for exactly what to expect from this family. All
Yeah,
right.
imagine being too much for the Puritans.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's a great hook right off the bat, I think. Because, I mean, the thing about this movie is, and honestly, I'm kind of guilty of it myself to an extent. I feel like Black Phillip kind of overshadows everything else. And
Mm,
it really shouldn't be that way, because the whole rest of the film is so textured.
yeah, no, and Black Phillip's barely in the movie. It's kind of a Hannibal Lecter situation where it's like very little screen time. But
Well, I mean, look at him like hogging up the whole poster. He's such a
yeah,
diva.
and that's fair. I've worked with goats like Black Phillip. They're fucking scary.
All right. But what I was gonna say is, like, obviously, we got Ralph Ineson. We gotta give it up to Anya Taylor Joy, because
Yep.
my God, like, this was
This was like
even more
her.
of a wow. Where did you come from?
Yeah,
Sort of
was this her
situation.
first big feature?
It
It
was
was def
definitely her first big feature for
Yeah, it was
sure. I'm not
definitely
sure
the
if it was her
first one.
first period if it was her first total, but
It
yeah.
was her second. She was an uncredited role in Vampire Academy in 2014,
Oh my God, that's crazy.
and she was a recurring role in the British fantasy television series Atlantis the
Uh-huh.
year before as well.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, like, and I think one of the only things that was advertised in this film, if I remember correctly, is the scene where she's playing peekaboo with the baby and then the
Yes.
baby disappears. Like, that was, they strongly hinged the whole marketing campaign on that moment from what I
Hmm.
remember. And it really is just it really is just something that just hooks you in right off the bat.
And it still works in the movie.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like it's
It
not like
totally does, yeah.
it's not one of those things where like, oh, that's in the trailer and then it loses its luster. Like it's very much when that scene happens in the movie, it's like, holy fuck.
Well, I think it works even better in the context of the movie, just
Yeah.
because, like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's not really a spoiler to have it, to know that it's coming up, just because it's still very effective, and it's still just, you know, like, I think what makes it so effective is that we get the fact that this family is so God fearing. Again, they're too puritanical for the Puritans.
Hmm.
That we just know in this time with this setup, the premise and everything, this is not going to go well for this poor girl. This poor girl is not going to have a good time after this event.
Yeah. And the rest of the family is gonna have a worse time, honest.
In some ways, yes, but I mean, I truly think, besides Black Phillip, the thing that really did stick with me about this movie, and has always stuck with me, is that whole thing of just being blamed for something that's entirely not your fault, and just
Right.
like, the walls just kind of caving in. And like I said, I do think that the parents, being as radical as they are, is a major part of why that works so well.
Mm-hmm.
But what I really didn't count on as far as the rewatch, PerGron, I did not count on the mother being as chilly, because I honestly think she's more of an antagonist than Ralph Ineson, which
Oh, 100%.
I genuinely didn't remember, because my whole memory of this film kind of hinged on the fact that we open with Ralph Ineson, like delivering this big bravado monologue about how he's, how this the whole God-fearing thing. And so I just remember him being the one who goes over it. But no, I love how it's the mother who, right from the very beginning, before we even get any like real finger pointing, although I feel like much like Hereditary, that's another thing this movie and Hereditary have in common, actually, now that I think about it, is the someone gets blamed for the death of a sibling.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And then kind of the emotional fallout from it. And much like Hereditary, it's one of those things where it doesn't come up for a while, the actual finger pointing, the actual blame. But when it does, it comes out in an explosive way, and in a way that's like realistic to how a real person would react after having to hold in something like that for so long.
Yeah. No, 100%. The mom too is played by, I don't remember the actress's name.
I'll look it up. We better give her the due credit.
Yeah. But she played in Game of Thrones. She was Lysa Arryn, I believe, and she played a fucking crazy mom there too.
Kate Dickey.
Kate Dickey
is her name. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's I don't want to say typecast.
So that's a type.
Yeah, she plays crazy, jealous, hateful mom quite well.
No, but I really like how at the beginning, before the finger pointing, before the rage, before the whole like she's a witch, it just comes down to grief.
Mm-hmm.
And grief in itself is scary and ugly to look at, and you don't know how to handle it if you're not, because I don't know, the thing with William in this movie, the father, is that he's obviously going through it like too, like it's not like this stuff isn't affecting him, but he's got this whole burden on his shoulders of being the man of the house, and like fucking little Phil and Lil DeVille, like little demonic Phil DeVille there is like going to be the man of the house, now, especially after the situation with Jonas. We should talk about that though. But what I'm saying is that I do think that Ralph Ineson just he has this sort of sense of like, that kind of like that masculine pride that he doesn't want to shed. And it's another layer to his performance, because you can tell it's really emotionally affecting him, but you can also tell that he's by far the more empathetic of the two. Like,
right,
he holds on to actually caring about Anya Taylor-Joy for much longer than the mother does, much longer than the fucking twins do, obviously.
Those twins are the worst. If
do you
you're
want to
looking
talk
at
about the twins, or do you want to talk about Jonas? Because Jonas is kind of like the next kind, the brother.
Caleb.
Why did I think it was Jonas?
I'm not sure, but the brother's name is Caleb.
Is Jonas is the fucking Phil DeVille twin? Then I think. Yeah, yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is. My bad.
Yeah. The twins are. If you want the worst, most horrifying set of twins in a horror movie, it's not The Shining anymore. It was The Shining for a while.
I mean, honestly, these two are like more unsettling than Black Phillip.
Yeah,
like Black Phillip is kind of chill. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Black Phillip's
Black
like,
Phillip
hey,
has like
butter?
Chester Cheetah chill upside to
him. You want to fly around with a bunch of naked women in the woods? We can make it work. And meanwhile, the kids are like, Black Phillip.
So I really think that they should be more like iconic than they actually are. That's the one part of the movie where it's like, I definitely think that, they're one of the more memorable elements. And not just the Black Phillip chant. And I love how the movie does kind of devolve as far as like we think that they're playing a game with the goat, but no, really it's like the whole thing is like just happening like literally in front of our eyes. And I think Robert Eggers does a good job. It's like a magic trick, right? Like where the actual what is actually happening is right there. It's right in front of us.
Yeah.
But we're distracted by all this other shit. We're distracted by the religious angle, by the witch angle, but really it's just this fucking Chester Cheetah goat.
Yeah, the kids are like they look like kids, but they're very much like their mannerisms and their costumes and everything. They just make them seem like otherworldly too. Like they're very creepy. Like
just in the sense that like you get the sense that this Black Phillip shit has been going on for a while, right? Because we do get a little bit of a time jump where they see the spot where they're going to build the cabin, and then we get the time jump to where the cabin's built. You get the sense that the Black Phillip stuff has been just slowly kind of chewing its way into the fabric of the family, at least for like several months at this point, right? I mean, at the very least, that's the sense I get.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know how long they've had Black Phillip, but at least since they started their homestead, I'm sure. But yeah, I had something to say about and it's the fact that it's like the kids that are very much like she's a witch, like the twins. They play a lot into that, which, historically, little bored children are the reason that the Salem witch trials happen. So
yeah, definitely.
A little bit of hearkening back there as a New England boy, Mr. Eggers, because it was the 2 or 3 little girls in Salem that were like, yeah, it's a witch, and she cursed us, and they did the whole thing. So not unheard of for children's out of the mouth of babes, I guess you can say.
All right. So yeah, we do have to talk about Caleb because
yes, we do.
I mean, he is like more palatable than the twins, but he's just as much of a little creep.
Yes. Weird little creep.
This movie is is kind of the genesis for weird little creeps. It's like,
yeah,
like the weird little creeps in this movie walk so Barry Keoghan could run.
Oddly enough, the only one who isn't a weird little creep is Ralph Innocent.
Right.
But yeah, like Caleb's storyline is like he's very much the you can tell he's like dad's boy. He's they go out and they hunt together and they toil the fields together and they do all that stuff. But he's also like an incestuous little weasel.
Oh God, yeah. The first time I saw this, I was just like, "Oh no, that's the direction we're going here." Oh God.
Like, look, I get it. I understand Anya Taylor-Joy, but like, come on, man. That's your sister.
I am not going to be bold enough to make the claim that if Anya Taylor-Joy was my sister, I would have feelings like that.
Not my sister.
I'm not going to make that claim.
No, that's fair. That's also not the claim I was making. just for the record. But yeah, no. And then he goes and gets dead. Brother goes and gets cursed by a witch.
And I think the seance scene where he's just writhing around, and it might be some of the most impressive. Like the cast all across the board. I mean, even the people playing, even the little fucking shits playing the twins. They're very effective at what they do. I mean, like you said, they do just give off this whole otherworldly energy to themselves that really the movie would not work without that kind of like off-putting energy.
Honestly, the fact that half of this cast is like children is crazy for a first feature film of this kind of like caliber, because this isn't like a Hollywood production where like the kids can just kind of be like actors. This is
Hmm.
very much like you have to be ingrained in this world to be able to make it work. And the fact that Caleb and the two twins their actors are able to achieve that is really crazy.
And then, I mean, even Anya Taylor-Joy, like, I
Yeah.
mean, like, all due respects, a credit is a credit, right? But like,
Hmm.
the fact that she was able to go from like fucking Vampire Diaries to this,
Yeah.
and
Uh,
this really is like, I truly think this is as much of a put her on the map type of role for her as Midsommar was for Florence Pugh. I really think that those two kind
and
of mirror each other.
she was only 19, Anya Taylor-Joy, when this movie was made.
That's crazy.
So she wasn't like that far removed from being a child actor either.
Right, right. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah. And then, I mean, even like someone like Ralph Ineson, like or Kate Dickey, not major movie stars,
No,
like all of
ca-
these people are
like
just
character actor kind of.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But it is one of those movies, though, especially in the case of Anya Taylor-Joy and Ralph Ineson, where you just look back and you're just like, oh man, that movie was fucking stacked as
Mm,
far as like talent, like new talent. And I swear we're absolutely going to be saying that about The Long Walk in a few years.
absolutely.
But
Yeah, I mean, we went from Ralph Ineson's roles before this movie being things like um, the movie First Night and Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll, and a bit part in the last three Harry Potters
oh
of
god, what role did he play?
Amicus Caro. I don't even know who the fuck that
No,
is.
I fucking no idea.
He looks like Snape's right hand man, which makes sense.
That's Alan
And
Rickman.
he was also in Game of Thrones as a bit part. He was
Uh-huh.
one of the Ironborn. But after this movie, The Last Jedi, Ready Player One,
Oh
um,
no, was he in Ready Player One?
yeah, he was Rick. I don't know who Rick is. um, but the
My
Green Knight,
name is not Rick.
the Green Knight, the Northman, the Pope's Exorcist,
Hmm.
the First Omen, Nosferatu, of course, Fantastic Four, Frankenstein. So like he went from being like a bit part to some pretty high profile movies.
Sure, sure. All right. So let's see. So yeah, Caleb is an incestuous little shit. We already established that. Do you want to just break down Black Phillip more? I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel like we're sort of covering our bases here pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean it's not like it's an in-depth movie because of the world building more than it is like plot. It's a pretty simple
It's a
plot.
pretty bare bones plot, really.
Yeah.
It's a pretty like cut and dry, like yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean Black Phillip is a black goat and that's kind of his deal until the end when it's like no, he's actually the devil.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I think he very much is actually supposed to be Satan.
Oh, I
Like,
definitely think so as well. That's how I
um,
always read it. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like
And I
it's
like
very.
how it's open for interpretation, like exactly how that works.
Hmm.
Hmm.
But like goats have always been tied to Satan and like witchcraft. So that and the color black as well, like black cats, black dogs, black goats. Um, yeah, because I mean Satan in a lot of pop culture is very much like a satyr, I guess, kind of shape.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like he's got the goat horns, he's got the hooves. Um, but like, oh, the scene in this movie that will always creep me out is when the hoof appears on Anya Taylor Joy's shoulder and then it morphs into
Yeah.
fingers. That is
Hmm.
one of the most like subtle, like you don't even notice it at first. And it's just one of the creepiest things. I think it's a master. Like that might be the shot of the movie for me.
No,
Um,
I know exactly what you're talking about, and yeah, I agree. And the fact that the whole movie kind of like builds to that. It is just a great kind of like exercise in suspense and tension building. And again, the great thing about the Black Phillip thing, I think, is just the fact that it's like, you have no idea what to believe in this situation. Like when you first see Black Phillip, your instinct is automatically going to be like, oh, okay, the twins are fucking crazy.
Right.
You know, like that's exactly what's going on here. Or they're just being little kids and being fucking rugrats and using their imagination, you know? But you really don't picture that it's just going to get wrapped up into this whole satanic,
right,
crazy bullshit.
And even when like Ralph Ineson gets gutted, like that's just a male goat. Like that's not that unrealistic, like of a situation, especially at that time, where you were working with those male goats a lot more frequently. Like nowadays, we have things like shift doors and guns that can prevent that. Like I've worked with asshole male goats, but I usually just didn't go in with them.
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of sense. Like you're not even like at that point, you're not even like, oh, it's definitely like the devil. You're just like, oh, like it's a goat, and it's maybe an evil goat. One of my favorite behind the scenes stories is that Robert Eggers thought that goat sucked so much. Like the goat is
do you know if they used any puppetry on him?
I don't think so. I think it was mostly just a real
Okay,
goat.
you see that like, look where we're in an age where we do the Call of the Wild, and the dog is CGI 100% of the time.
Right.
What is that garbage when we have Black Phillip just acting his ass off in goat form? Genuinely, he is putting in a hell of a performance as an animal actor, and there's no I mean, what does that tell you? That really just goes to show exactly how much this movie is firing on all cylinders, I think.
Yeah, I mean, to get a goat, I mean, from all reports, the goat was just an asshole, so it seems like it was acting. It seems like it was just like the goat might actually be the devil. We're not quite sold on that one yet. I think the goat has since been blacklisted from Hollywood.
Oh no! Oh
god! But he was also in the film It Comes at Night.
Was he really?
Apparently.
Oh man.
Those are his two.
I mean, definitely a less high profile movie, but also another one of those kind of like, I kind of feel like the Robert Eggers, Ari Aster. I forget the name of that director from It Comes at Night, but he's also pretty.
Trey Edward Schultz.
Yeah, right. And he's another guy that very much started in the horror sphere, but is very much diversified. Like I don't think a lot of his movies outside the horror sphere are great, but it's impressive that he is, that all these filmmakers. It does very much remind me of the the Brat Pack from the 1970s, the Spielberg, Coppola, Scorsese.
I mean, yeah, I'd put Jordan Peele in with this group.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And Jordan Peele again with the, like Nope, very much not even a horror movie, but I think his strongest movie by a pretty considerable margin.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people are going to say Get Out. I love Get Out. Get Out was very culturally relevant, but
I'd say Nope, Get Out, and then a pretty big drop off for me to Us.
You know what sucks about Us, though, is that I'm pretty local to Santa Cruz, and it's so cool to have a movie that centered around the boardwalk and everything.
That's fair. Us does contain my favorite moment in any of Jordan Peele's movies, where they're asking to call the police and they play Fuck the Police by NWA. That is my favorite scene in any of his movies, so fair enough. Black Phillip, the actor Charlie the Goat, is 210 pounds.
Oh, wow.
That's a big goat. And the reason he was chosen, according to a direct quote from Robert Eggers, is he looked the Black Phillippiest.
There's a maze at Not Scary Farm. It debuted last year. It's the Eight Fingers 9, I think it's called. and it's kind of set during the same time period, like colonial era,
Mm-hmm.
and it's about like a boogeyman. And there is a goat puppet in that I genuinely am convinced is supposed to be an homage to Black Phillip. So last year when I was going through Scary Farm and I did it like 4 nights in a row, every time I came upon that goat, I like yelled like, "It's Black Phillip!" And I really hope that the puppeteer like got what I was
Got it.
referencing at least a couple times. It's the same thing where the name of the witch at Scary Farm is Sarah Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget the first time that I went into the Origins, the Curse of Calico maze. They have this guy who's like, kind of like supposed to be getting people riled up into an angry mob about like, let's name all the crimes of Sarah Marshall. And he's up on this platform as you're in line to go in. And I'll never forget, I was like, she broke Jason Segel's heart. She broke Jason Segel's heart, the witch.
This is a really fun anecdote. In an interview, Innocent said, you can't train a goat. They're satanic animals. They do exactly what they want when they want. True. And after completing filming, Innocent took his wife and Robert Eggers to a restaurant in London called the Smoking Goat, and they all ate goat meat in order to spite Charlie.
Okay. I think that's a perfect place to kind of end on, but we should go into the actual climax. So do you want to?
Yeah.
I mean, you already addressed the hand, which is like the big highlight, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do love how like everything just goes so off the rails. It's like, and like I said, the mother is pretty against. I'm sorry. Do you remember the name of Anya Taylor-Joy's character? Thomason, yeah, thank you. Like she's very much against Thompson, but like you can tell Ralph Ineson is like holding on, like he desperately does not want to believe the witch shit,
Mm-hmm. I mean,
And
if
I
you're
like how
that
it's the death of
religious,
Caleb that really kind of pushes him over the edge, just because that whole masculine thing, like. And again, the idea that like that little Phil DeVille shit is gonna be the man of the house now. God damn it!
yeah.
So yeah, it's just a really really good contrast there. It's just a really really good build up as far as him being the parental figure. To like, correct me if I'm wrong, but he is no, he's not the one that chokes her out. It's the mother, right?
Yes, the mother.
But he still gets pretty physical with her.
Yes, yeah, he's like slams her around and
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Oh God! And then I think one of the creepiest scenes is just the when they fucking hold the twins up with her in that shed.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be holed up with those twins.
That is genuinely more terrifying than any of the actual witch shit in this
right.
And then I forget what happens to the twins. Do they just disappear
They
overnight?
just disappear. We have no idea.
Right. Yeah.
I don't. Here's my my little fan theory.
Okay.
I don't think the twins existed as like twins. I don't think they were actually their children. I think they were like little imps or like,
oh God,
like sent there to sow chaos.
Oh, I don't like that.
That's always been kind of my interpretation of like they're definitely like they're playing the
Like
children.
they just showed up one day and the parents were like, "It is God's will."
I don't know, like yeah, or like even if they were born, they were born of like evil or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've always felt that those
or maybe
twins,
it was like God's punishment for leaving the church.
yeah, I don't know, but it's always felt to me like they weren't actually like children and they were more like little demon like
No, I feel that.
meant
Yeah.
to sow the chaos. I don't think they like just randomly got into witchcraft. I think they were always kind of part of it or part of the plan. Kind of in like again to bring up Hereditary, kind of in the way that like everything is planned out and
Mm-hmm.
everything like is it more tragic that they don't have a choice kind of deal? That's kind of how I've always read this movie with those twins.
Sure. All right, so we get the big conversation with Black Phillip. Anything more you want to say about the voice is just impeccable.
The
I mean,
voice is Wahab Chaudhry, Chaudhry. He's Canadian.
uh-huh.
um, but yeah, he is fucking insane voice. The
And
fact
you know
that
what's
he's
great is that I definitely feel like it's like a predecessor to the sort of sound design that we're going to get with Orlok's voice.
yes, absolutely, 100%. Like,
Mhm.
I also think like one of the craziest things, and one of the things that I have to appreciate Eggers for over pretty much any other director, is his commitment to period accuracy.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
mean that's definitely like that's his signature right there.
we've barely brought up how fucking accurate the dialogue is.
Oh no,
Like,
yeah, I'm glad. Like we should definitely highlight that because it is very much, and the dialogue is. I mean, make no mistake. I do think the dialogue is the thing that's going to turn off the
oh,
normies to this movie.
100%.
But it's like Shakespeare, though. It's got a rhythm to it. If you can actually just get into the rhythm of it, and it's a lot like the Lighthouse in that way. And obviously, the Lighthouse just takes the dialect thing, and that's like one of the main focuses of that whole movie
Yeah,
is the dialect.
the Lighthouse. I had to rewatch it when it came to home video. I had to watch it with subtitles to really get it all, which I did not have to do for this movie. But
You know what? I will say that is a mild criticism I have with this movie is that I feel like the sound mixing is pretty off because it's a very quiet movie until it's not. And I just say that as someone who I want to watch this late at night, but I've got other family who are in the house, and it's kind of obnoxious having to go from like I have to turn it up during the quiet dialogue scenes, but then when shit gets real, it gets really loud. And I don't know. I find that kind of it's not a big deal. It's just a minor nitpick I had.
yeah.
But
So the first time I ever watched this, I have to tell this story
okay.
before we go. So I was working at a movie theater, local movie theater chain, when this movie came out. So it was like March, April of 2015.
Mhm.
I was working the movie theater, and I remember going into the theater at the end of this movie when nobody else was in there having to clean it was terrifying. And it's
Oh my
because the
god.
music to this, like the score for this movie, is it's probably the scariest score to any movie ever. Like the music here, I have it on I have a playlist of it called music to play when you want to scare your roommate. And it's just the witch soundtrack because
Oh
holy
man.
shit, the movie here was, or the music here and the sound design and everything is a lot.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, Also, it seems like this movie was originally going to be directed by Alfonso Cuarón.
I could see that. It totally has his vibe. It
Hmm.
absolutely has his vibe. Yeah.
And he said it made him more than anything curious.
Uh-huh.
Um, it also was.
So I don't think that guy's made a movie since Roma, has he?
I don't think so.
He's
Nope,
he's
that's his newest
due,
one.
come to think of it. Wonder if he's got anything cooking. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah. I also really like how they take, like, another thing about the realism or accuracy to the time period is like when we do get to the witch stuff, like the movie is shockingly light on witch stuff.
Oh
Also,
yeah, yeah.
I think is worth, like, it's very much more
We
of a
just get a couple like it's almost like if they had to show the Blair Witch in the fucking 2015 reboot,
hmm
this is
this
as
is how,
much as they should have. Yeah, this is how they should have done it. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's very much like
And
a
it's
blink.
very much what I pictured the Blair Witch looking like in my head, anyways. Not like
Mm.
fucking weird Slender Man esque thing.
Uh, but yeah, like when they get to the witch stuff, like she is told to sign her name in a book, which is very much like old witchology. I don't know what the term would be. But like the belief in witches was very much like you would sign your name in the devil's book. That was
Uh-huh.
like the thing. So he gets that right. They have a bonfire. where they dance around. Also, it seems like the dancers were a troupe of Romani dancers, is what it says.
Oh,
And that they
interesting.
made up their own choreography on set.
Oh, that's really cool.
So, like,
I like that. I
it's
like that.
very much a, like...
It's, like, super authentic culturally.
Mhm. So that's kind of that's a really neat...
Mhm. Okay, but yeah, we have to talk about that last shot, though, because it is
Yes.
absolutely fucking iconic.
Oh, 100%. It's, like, the most supernatural shot in the movie.
Mhm.
Like, everything else can be kind of explained away as, like, paranoia, and then you finally get, like, that little twist at the end where they're floating.
Oh, they float,
They float.
Thomason. They all float. What if Black Phillip just ended up being Pennywise? That was the twist.
I mean, he does like Bill Skarsgård.
the Puritan colony was just colonial dairy.
Yeah, at the end you just get It Chapter 1 coming 2017.
Oh god. And that's literally just the end of the movie, is just like the witches floating, and then it just Black Phillip transforms into Pennywise. And, oh,
Or
they
just like,
float, Thompson.
it's like a red balloon floats by.
Oh my god. All right, you know what? I think that's a great place to end. Do you have any final thoughts?
I don't. If you haven't watched The Witch, watch The Witch. It's
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
a
we're doing this
masterpiece.
earlier in the season just because it's not exactly like Halloween, but I do
Right.
think it's got like an autumn vibe to it.
Oh,
Like, I
absolutely.
feel like it's a great movie to watch specifically at this time of the year when the weather's changing, when it's getting dark earlier, like it's such a vibe, it's such a mood.
Hmm.
And like we said, I think one of the things that we just keep coming back to in this conversation is just how influential this movie was and how exciting this time period was for horror. And what's even more exciting, PerGron, and I'll leave it here, is the fact that here we are 10 years later, we're in another goddamn horror renaissance. This year has been absolutely fantastic for horror.
Yeah,
And
I
that's like
mean,
really exciting that we just keep the ball rolling on it.
yeah, 2015 to, like, I'd say 2019, and then we're back. Like, we had a couple years off.
We had a couple rough years. We did the early 2020s were not good for horror, generally
No, they were
speaking.
pretty rough. But I would say
Yeah.
the last 3 years
Hmm.
have had, like, I mean, 2023 had Evil Dead Rise. I love that one. I thought that one was great. Skinamarink, a favorite of mine.
Oh, I love Skinamarink is a movie that ages like fine wine for me,
Yes,
honestly.
fucking love Skinamarink.
We
I remember
should just
that
do another Skinamarink podcast. Have we done a Skinamarink
we
podcast?
did when it just came out.
Oh, we should definitely do another one
Do
at
a
some point.
revisit. Oh, Talk to Me came out in 2023.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Another phenomenal one. When Evil Lurks was crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Even Saw X was, like, solid. And then last
Saw
year,
X was fucking solid.
yeah.
Saw X was absolutely the Final Destination Bloodlines of that year.
Oh, 100%.
Uh-huh.
And then
Uh-huh.
last year we had The Substance, we had Nosferatu,
Yep.
Heretic.
Yep.
I saw The TV Glow, Late Night with the Devil.
Late Night with the Devil. Yeah. God. Oh,
I would
anyways.
argue A Different Man is a horror. First Omen was shockingly good.
Wait, A Different Man? Is that what
That
was
was
that?
the one with Sebastian Stan and the
Oh yeah,
flute.
no, for sure. It's funny because I was confusing it with Better Man.
Oh, yeah, that was a horror too because
That was dude. I watched like the first 20 minutes of it and I was like, I can't. I can't do it. This is too uncanny.
Why is he a monkey?
This is too weird, man. All right, but yeah, it's very good to know that we are in such a golden age of horror, and I really think that horror is the last genre that is just. And this year we still have Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm super excited for that one.
And I'll end on this note that like I do think that horror is the last genre that we really have is pure like the film bros that we are,
Mm-hmm.
where it's an untapped frontier. It's like you can do anything with it, and the budgets on horror movies are generally speaking relatively low, and which is that's how movies should be made anyways, like we don't need to be spending fucking I don't even think One Battle After Another needed to be $150 million, frankly.
Most of that was probably Leo.
Right. But yeah, it's very exciting that horror continues to, it's such a play box. You can have comedy horror, you can have art house horror like this, you can have just really, really solid Hollywood horror like the first two Conjuring movies or Saw X or Final Destination Bloodlines, and it's all valid. Anyways.
Yeah, it can be supernatural, it can be crime,
something like Skinamarink that's more found footage and experimental.
Yeah. The Blair Witch.
Oh, and we got Shelby Oaks.
Shelby
Oaks.
That's coming out. I'm very
sorry,
excited.
I'm so excited.
I'm really excited for Good Boy this weekend. I bought my ticket.
It wasn't playing at my Petaluma theater, but I saw it was playing in Santa Rosa, and I was like, "Thank you, Santa Rosa."
I got my ticket for that one. I'm very excited for that one.
You know what's bullshit though? No, I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It'll date the podcast.
But yeah, it's a really good time to be a horror fan.
Absolutely.
There was a time, early 2010s, that was not a good time to be a horror
fan. The Conjuring, I feel like, was the thing that sort of changed things.
It was, absolutely.
Those movies were pretty Hollywood, of course, but I mean, you made a point in the movie thread where it's like sorry, the first two Conjuring movies, the effectiveness of them really was that it wasn't necessarily like this big cinematic universe yet. It was just pulling from actual true life cases, and that's what made it feel real. And then we get into the more art house side of things as we get deeper into the decade. All right,
yeah,
well, that's about it. All right, folks, that's the end of tonight's spooky selection, and our spirits grow weary, but they'll be stronger than ever next time as we engage in even more haunted holiday hijinks.
Wouldst thou like the taste of butter?